Everybody to this practice, and at the time of recording it is known in the media today as Blue Monday. Blue Monday is apparently a day that we're all meant to feel terribly depressed. It's cold out there. People are reminded of their spending hangover from Christmas, and for sure, if we look around, we can find things to be really miserable about. But it is really a media invention, often designed to sell us things to make us feel better. So today's practice is all about finding moments of joy because they're always there. What we choose to focus on, we get more of. So can we all say collectively a 2 fingers up to the idea of Blue Monday and embrace moments of joy in this practice. So we are going to begin with a little heart opener. I've set it up here ready. So I have a brick and I have a bolster on top. You might have cushions, bed pillows, just really something that really helps you open and elevate the upper chest. And then when you're ready, let's come to lie down. So your lower back is just on the edge of whatever it is you've got there. You might find one brick isn't enough, as I've just found, so you might elevate the head a little bit more. Make sure it's comfortable, but you can really get a sense of this opening in the heart. Your legs might be crossed like mine, or they might be long, or feet together, knees wide. And allow your eyes to close. So letting go of the day you've had so far, whether it's been Blue Monday or Happy Monday, just take a really full deep breath into the upper chest. And as you breathe out, soften. And we can only experience joy in the present moment. So can you let go of all that's been, all that's going to happen, and focus on coming into the here and now? Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out. And just take 4 to 5 rounds of breath, focusing your awareness into the center of your heart. And there may be things in the body that are not 100% making us happy, but can you find something that feels good in the body? Where is your energy flowing? Do you feel a nice sense of really openness across the upper chest? Do your hips feel relaxed? And can you soften that space between your eyebrows? And once again, take a huge deep breath. And then just move to one side everything that you're lying on. So bearing in mind we're all unique and you might have stuff going on in your back, but can you start now to rock and roll along the spine and kind of make it fun? So coming up onto your toes, up onto the shoulders. If you've got space, as I have now, you might rock around your mat completely into a 360-degree circle. That can feel quite good fun. And maybe do that in the opposite direction, but just take a little bit of moments there to rock up the spine. And then we're going to come all the way up to a seat. Roll your shoulders back. Just notice the energy right now flowing through you. And as you inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. Hold on to your right wrist and lean to the left. And get a sense now that you're just lightly pulling back with that right elbow, just to feel what's going on there at the back of your heart. Deep breath in. And now drop your left hand down and extend that right arm. So a deeper breath into the right side body. One more breath, just filling up that space with fresh energy. Breathing in, we rise up and we take those fingers behind as we come into a twist. Growing tall as you elongate the spine on inhale. And as you exhale, just soften the shoulders. And come all the way back. So again, all today is just challenging ourselves, trying to bring a bit of fun. See if you can lift your legs up without taking your hands to the ground, and then recross your legs the opposite way. And if you fall over, there's no one to witness you at home but the cat. Inhale as you rise up. Bring both arms up overhead. Hold on to your left wrist and lean to the right. Fall a tiny little bit there just to really wake up the back of the left shoulder. Deep breath. And then the right hand comes down as the left arm comes up and over, and just breathe into the left side of your body. Soften face, jaw, shoulders. One more deep breath. And let's rise back up again. And once again, let's take a twist. Right hand comes across, looking over that left shoulder. And see if you can feel the breath rising up to the upper back. And come back to center. Just a little bit of Sufi grind now. I always think this feels so nice. So we're just circling around. You might close your eyes, just really get into what the body feels like, what the body enjoys. And then change the direction of your circles. And there's a quote from Mary Oliver in a poem, let the soft animal of your body do what it loves. Can we tap into that? And then spiral inwards until you come to your center. As you come to your center, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Take a huge breath in. And open the mouth, breathe away everything that's been and gone. And now let's make our way onto all fours. So thinking of your body in that way, that it is the soft animal, let it do what it likes now. So do you need to sway a little bit? Do you need to circle to your ankles, heels? Or do you like to do cat and cow? There's no good or bad choice. Just really listen to the body. And then let's come up to a neutral spine. We're just going to do a little bit of strength work now. As you inhale, come over, shoulders over wrist, bend the elbows towards you, slower to the ground, and then press yourself back up again and come back into child's pose. Inhale, all fours, bend elbows, drop chest, press yourself back up again and round back. So if that brings you joy, just do a few more of those. If it doesn't, come back to cat and cow. Just building a little bit of upper body strength. And then come to this neutral spine. Take your right leg behind you now with the toes down. Press into the heel and gaze forward. Feel the stretch all the way down the right calf, the right leg. Maybe pulse a little bit. And if you feel like your calf needs a deeper stretch, pick up your left knee and left ankle. Without changing the breath, take a huge breath in. And then drop your left shin as you flip to the side. So we're going to straighten to a balance if we can. Lift your right leg up and spread the arms and take up space. Spread fingers, spread toes. Joy is expansive, so can you expand? And maybe take the right arm over your ear. Here's a challenge. Can you bring elbow to knee? Inhale, lengthen, extend, and perhaps enjoy falling over just like children do. Sometimes our balance isn't perfect, but judgment does not bring joy. Pause there, lengthen and extend. Take a huge breath in and come all the way back down again. Come back to cat and cow. Inhale, heart rises. Exhale, tuck chin. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, tuck chin. So I'm just going to spin round in time for side two. Let's take the left leg back now. Press into the center of the heel. Check out the back of the left leg. Is that a deep enough stretch? Would it bring you joy to lift the right knee up and the ankle? Take a breath. Notice if you're now tensing shoulders, in which case, back off. Take the right shin down. Let's flip to the side. So maybe you go straight into a balance. Maybe you're a little bit more cautious, but just expand because that's what brings us joy. Take a breath. Maybe arm comes over ear, elbow to knee. Lengthen, extend, elbow to knee. Nice, steady with breath. Inhale. Final time. And just stay there in expansion again. Huge breath. Let's come back to all fours. And if you're ready, we're going to make our way up into our first downward facing dog. Roll shoulders back, press the heels down. Breathe into your whole body. Exhale. So apparently one of the reasons that we are grumpy at this time of year is the cold. So let's really warm our bodies up now. As you breathe in, sweep the right leg up and bend the right knee. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, take the right foot to the outside of the right hand and then drop your left knee down. Forward and back now in movement as we ease into the joints. So often in winter, the joints are much colder. That's why we're more likely to get arthritis. And now we're going to walk our hands, explore this. Walk your hands towards your left knee. So you're kind of going round in a quarter circle. Just see if you can find your particular tight spot. And we're not lingering or focus on what makes us miserable. We're just trying to dissolve it with breath. Let's come back to the front of the mat now and lift your right arm up as you do a really big circle into the shoulders. And then next time that right hand comes down, let's come back into downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog now as we take our first vinyasa. Breathe in as you come forward to plank. Lengthen the spine, just look forward. And then drop onto your knees as you lower to the earth. Breathe in, heart rises. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Breathe away everything else. Inhale, left leg rises. Pause there, feel the back of the right leg. Take the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And then again, we sway, we slide, we glide. And perhaps this time we explore walking around towards our right knee. So creating a lot of space in the pelvis, the hips. Perhaps lingering where it feels a little tight for an extra breath or two. And then let's bring our hands forward. Right hand down, left arm rises, coming into that really expansive twist again as we slowly circle the arm. And as the left arm lifts, maybe you look up to your left thumb and take a deep breath. Exhale, left hand comes down. Let's come back to downward facing dog and take a breath. Side away. Let's come forward. Inhale to plank. Maybe this time you don't drop the knees. Lower to the earth. Inhale, heart rises. Let's come back to downward facing dog and breathe. And when you're ready, let's make our way towards the front of the mat. Feet are hip width apart. That's anatomically, that's 2 fists, or maybe toes touch if that's better for you. Breathe in, take a long spine. Exhale, fold. And just repeat these repetitive half lifts. And now when you're ready, let's slowly roll up to stand. And pause at the top of the mat. One hand to heart, one hand to your tummy. And one of the ways, of course, that we bring more joy into our life is through gratitude. So we're going to start with a sun salutation, because sun salutations are all about being grateful that the sun rose today, just as we did. Inhale, raise those arms overhead. Exhale, come to a fold. Inhale, long spine. Step back right, then left to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward. Lower down to the earth. Breathing in, roll up to a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So these are sun salutation A. Take a breath into downward facing dog. Exhale. 3 more breaths. Just gratitude to your body that you're here. Lift up the heels, look forward. Maybe now you're ready for a little hop towards the front of the mat, getting warmer. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Straight onto side 2. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back left, then right. Downward facing dog. Stay there or come through your flow. Just warming and heating the body. Back to downward facing dog. Again, gratitude for this day. And Meister Eckhart says, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, it's enough. So breathe it in. Breathe it out. Look towards the hands. Let's step or hop towards the front of the mat. Breathe into a flat back. Breathe out to fold. Slowly, let's come to stand. And take a moment as you close your eyes to feel the energy flowing through you. So we're going to come into our flow now. We're going to do this 3 times and we're going to add on. So come to the front of the mat. Let's really bring into that sense of joy into our practice. Let's come into a chair pose. Breathe in as you lift the arms up in front of you. Then bring the arms behind. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, lift up. We're going to do this 5 times. Release it through the mouth. 3 more times. It's so warming as well. Inhale. And now as we lift up, let's pick our left leg up with us. So breathing in, you might have the arms up. Pause in the knee lift, find balance. And then really slowly bringing the arms behind you. Step back to a lunge. Keep the arms behind you as you look forward. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, arms come behind. The first round is going to be really slow. Breathing in, arms lift. Exhale, arms behind. Final time. And now let's stay in our high lunge. Keep those arms up overhead, lift the heart, and gaze up to the sky. So where we look up, that can affect our energy. Looking down is more grounding. Looking up is more inspired. Take 3 very deep breaths here. And now open your body into warrior 2. Gaze forward with that right to the right finger. Bend deeply into the right knee. And now take 3 deep breaths. You soften the back of the shoulders. Press into the back edge of the foot, the back foot. 2 more breaths. And now forearm to thigh as the left arm comes up and over your ear. Side angle pose. Breathe into the left side of your body, pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. 3 deep breaths. So this is our basic practice today. We're going to add to it. And then we breathe our way back up again and reverse our warrior as the left hand comes down, the right arm rises. 3 breaths here. Steady, steady breath. And then you come up and you choose. Do you rest in child's pose? Do you come through a vinyasa flow? Do you stay in down dog? Breathing in, let's come forward. Exhale, let's lower. Inhale to your back bend of choice. Back to downward facing dog. And take 3 deep breaths. So we're staying on the right leg. We're going to lift the right leg up. As we exhale, step the right foot forward. Now we're coming into a grounded warrior 3. Keep the fingers down, lift the left leg up, gaze forward. Take a breath. Left leg comes next to right. Pause in your forward fold. And we're going to do all of that again. Bend the knees as you come into chair pose. Inhale, arms in front. Exhale. Inhale, arms in front. 2 more. And now we pick the right leg up as we come to a balance. And if we fall, we fall. It's all part of the joy. Take 1 more deep breath. And slowly we come back to a lunge with the fingers behind. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, we fold. 1 more. Really get the energy pumping. And movement, of course, is medicine. Pause now in stillness. And although we're still, what can you feel moving through you? Steady the breath. Use it to really anchor you to this present moment. Warrior 2. Let's drop the back foot. So nearly always we have to adjust our pelvis. Lift your right hip. Drop the left. And fix your gaze on 1 point. Take 3 deep breaths. And then again, it's forearm to thigh. Right arm comes up and over. There's a very long line from the outer back foot to the top fingers. And that's where we're directing our breath. 3 breaths. Inhale, we come back, and then we reverse our warrior. As the right hand comes back, the left arm lifts. And we breathe. We breathe this time into the left side of the body. Inhale, we rise. Let's come through. Again, those choices. Is it down dog? Is it a flow? Is it to rest in child's pose? Do what brings you the most joy. Back in downward facing dog. Connect to your hands, to your feet, and breathe into your whole body. Now breathe in again, this moment. Inhale, left leg rises. Gaze forward, take the left foot down and lift the right leg. So again, we're in this grounded warrior 3. Take a breath. And now bring the right foot down next to the left. Take a moment there. You might want to shake out your hips. So we're going to add on to that little we're going to repeat that sequence now, but less breaths. So come back into chair pose, breathing in. Exhale, 1 time only. Breathing, come forward, lift up your left knee. Pause there. Slowly step back to a lunge, fingertips behind. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 2. Inhale to warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. 1 breath only. Inhale. Breathe your way back up again. And once again, you reverse. Right arm rises up. Take a breath. Inhale back to warrior 2. Let's come back through a flow. So much pacier this time. Feel the warmth. Back to downward facing dog. Take a moment there to breathe. Sigh away everything else. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot comes forward. Lift that left leg. This time, tap your left knee behind your right knee. Extend back again. Exhale, tap left knee behind right. Extend back. Final time. And drop the left foot down. Take a moment there in your forward fold. Breathing in. Breathing out. Back into chair pose. Breathing in. Arms are in front. Exhale, arms behind. Inhale, lift up your right knee. Slowly come back. Drop the right toes. Really good. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, warrior 2. So stay centered, feel your feet. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, forearm to thigh, right arm comes up and over. Breathe into the right side of your body. Inhale, we rise, we reverse. 1 more breath. And let's come up and come through the vinyasa flow. This time we are all going to meet in child's pose. So after you've done your flow, come back at this moment now, take the forehead down and take a moment. We've got 1 more round to go, so we're just kind of gathering ourselves back to center. And perhaps call to mind whatever it was as you began that brings you joy. What part of the body feels good? And now can you call to mind a person, a thing, a place, or some pet animal, a pet that brings you joy? And just let an image of it naturally arise. And perhaps there's a gratitude practice there, saying thank you. Take 3 more deep breaths. Allow the shoulders to relax, the face, the jaw, the hips. Come back into the soft animal of your body. And then very slowly, we're going to come back into downward facing dog. Take a breath. I just realised I missed something off there, so we'll do it now. As you breathe in, lift the left leg up. As you exhale, bring the left foot forward. This is too much joy to miss, isn't it? Let's lift that right leg up and then tap the right knee behind the left. Inhale, bring that leg up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, expand and lift. And then bring the foot next to the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Let's come all the way up to stand. And pause at the top of your mat. Get your hands to prayer. Close your eyes. Once again, giving thanks for this day. And certainly here in the UK, we were locked up this time 3 years ago. I was contemplating that this morning. So there's much to be joyful for. So let's come through the final round, and we are adding on a little bit. So do as you can, as you want to. Let's come back into chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, back to chair. Lift up your left heel only. Now lift up your left toes. Notice how wobbly that is. It's making you strong. Now let's come back into that knee lift. And here we're going to add a twist. So take your right hand to the left knee, left hand to your lower back. Pull your tummy in and you might look over your left shoulder. You might, however, unravel your left arm. Just make sure it's a joyful choice. Take one more deep breath. And now as we come forward, rather than stepping back, we're going to pause in Warrior 3. So let's extend that left leg back. Now you might choose to take your fingers back to the floor, keep them at your heart, or perhaps even bring your arms in front. So choose what's best for you and take 3 breaths. Slow, steady breaths. And now we land back to that lunge. Well done. Breathing in, arms rise up. Exhale, fingertips behind. Inhale, arms rise up. Back to Warrior 2. Pause in your Warrior 2. So this time, instead of taking forearm to thigh and left arm over, we're going to come into a half moon balance. So take a brick or use the floor in front of your right foot, left hand on hip, and let's just lift the left leg. And you might stay looking down, or you might turn away, spread toes, and just like we did in our warm-up, it's very expansive. So just expand into your whole body. Joy is expansive, it's contagious. Just take up space. And then we gently, gently come back. Warrior 2. Find your breath, find your feet, and let's reverse the warrior again. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to Warrior 2. And again, let's come through our flow. And you can, of course, skip these all together. And back we are, Warrior 3. Breathe in, right leg rises. Step the right foot between the hands. Same thing we just did. Lift the left leg, slightly different though. Tap left knee to back of right knee. Lift up and expand. Tap left knee behind right knee. Lift left leg and expand. Now we're going to take the right knee to the outside of the foot as we come to a twist. So watch that transition. So the right knee is bent, the foot is just outside the left knee, and then we're going to hug our left arm around the knee. Right fingers behind you, grow so tall, and then look over your right shoulder and take a really full deep breath. Soften the face, soften the jaw. Just close your eyes. Where do you feel movement in the body? One more breath. And then let's look forward. Let's take our hands down and let's come back to downward facing dog. And from there, just do little jumps maybe. That feels good. Really getting the energy flowing now. Drop into stillness. Take a deep breath. A breath away. Look towards the hands, step or hop. Look towards the front of the mat. Last round now. Breathing in, flat back. Exhale to fold. Slowly come up to stand. Pause at the top of the mat. Feel that energy flowing through you. Back into chair. Breathing in, arms in front. Exhale, arms behind. Inhale, bend knees. Lift up the right heel. Possibly right toes. Come to that knee lift. Yes, you might wobble. That's how we learn. Left hand to right knee, right hand to lower back. Pause. And then look over the back shoulder. You might decide to unravel the arm too. One more deep breath. Be so kind to yourself if you wobbly. Notice our humanness. Take the right arm forward. Hands to prayer. Let's come into a balance. Same variations, hands to floor, arms in front, hands to prayer. Breathe. And land in your high lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, lead with the right arm as you come back to warrior two. Take a breath in. So remember, you can always go back to side angle, or this time we take our right hand to hip and we come into half moon balance. Give yourself so much time to lift up the right leg and to turn, and then to find your most expansive expression of this shape. Steady the breath. Notice if it's gone racing. Keep really pressing into that right heel. One more deep, deep breath. So lovely. Let's come gently, gracefully back, or not, into warrior two. Reverse. Excuse me. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. One more deep breath. Reverse warrior. Let's come back to warrior two and then take your final vinyasa. Back to downward dog. All the way forward. Lower to the earth. Breathe your way back up. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe. Release. Inhale, left leg floats up. And we take it between the hands. We lift the right leg up. And we tap the right knee behind the left knee. 3 of those. Expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. Final time. Lift and lengthen that right leg. And take the knee just outside the left foot. So take a moment to land, because we're not getting up again. Let's hook the right elbow around the leg and take it into this twist called Ardha Matsyendrasana. Breathing in and breathing out. Fine, what time? Really slow that breathing down now. And come back to the front. So uncross the legs. We're just going to come into some core work now. This doesn't always bring joy, but it is good for us. So let's lift up. Make sure we're not collapsing into the lower back. Really lift up the heart. Maybe hold on to back of the knees for this first one. Maybe extend the legs up. Soften your facial expression. Notice if your teeth gritting, and take 5 breaths. You can always keep the legs parallel or take the toes down. So do what's best for your body. And now we will try it again without using the arms. 5 breaths. So we cannot have a strong back without a strong core, and vice versa. And now let's slowly lower down. We're really going to start to slow the practice down now. So bring those knees in towards your chest. We're going to do one active back bend, and then we're going to start to take it all down a notch. Take your feet to the mat, and as a rough guide, you can touch the center of your heels with your middle fingers. Take a moment there. We're going to begin with dynamic bridges, just moving in and out. So press into the feet, lift up the hips as you inhale. Exhale, slowly come down vertebrae by vertebrae. You might have the arms as well as you inhale. Take those arms up and over. Exhale, come down vertebrae by vertebrae. 3 more. So this is your pattern to stay lifting and lowering. Alternatively, stay up. Snuggle the shoulders beneath you. Tuck your chin. If you have a bigger back bend in your practice, by all means take that. Make sure the knees aren't splaying out to the side, and take 5 very steady, slow breaths. And notice if the breath is agitated, because that means your nervous system is too. Slowly, slowly, when you're ready, come down. And take a moment there to soften, to settle, to breathe into the whole body. So depending on what you have, we're going to come into our supported back bend now. If you do have a bolster or loads of cushions, that can be really nice to put in the small of your back. If you don't, you can use a book, a brick, or whatever you do have. So we lift and elevate the hips, and we lower the body back. If your back is okay, you might lengthen your legs to ease out the hip flexors. You might take the arms overhead. Now we're going to be here for 2 minutes. So settle yourself there. I'm going to come out, but you stay where you are. And as soon as we still the body, the mind starts to spin off. And I had a teacher in California over the summer, and she said things that block our joy are the 3 C's: comparison, criticism, complaining. And they're places that we all go to. We're not bad people, but just notice any of those thoughts are dominant right now. Because that's not where happiness lies. So just close your eyes, notice thoughts, try not to engage with them. And we're here for just over a minute. Very slow, steady, even breaths now. And if the mind just will not cooperate and be still, perhaps just repeat the Buddha's first teaching. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. For just a few more breaths. So we have been there for 2 minutes. Just tap in again to what's the most joyful for you. Is it to stay there a little longer or to elevate your legs? So a pose we call legs up, just reversing the flow of energy in the body, the flow of lymph. Little bend in the knees, soft bend.
And I only use the phrase effortless effort. So can you bring that into this shape? Just effortlessly drifting up the legs. Just a few breaths, just so good to reverse the energy flow. And very slowly, if you had your legs up, bring them down. Now, we want to come at this very carefully, not to agitate the back. So can you just slightly lift your hips so you can push away what you were on? Because our next shape is called butterfly. And the best way for my body is to have my feet on the bolster and the knees out to the side. That's just the right stretch for me. If that's too much of a stretch for you, and obviously that could be on cushions, then you take your feet over the bolster and have your knees out to the side. And if you like a really good stretch, you don't have the bolster at all. So just demonstrating all those three there. Perhaps rest your hands on your hip points, on your tummy. And once again, I am going to sit up so that I can check the timer. And again, you're here for 2 minutes. Dropping all awareness into the rise and fall of the belly. And again, maybe calling to mind, what is it that brings you joy, rather than allowing the mind to take you to that which doesn't? Because the mind has a tendency to, it wants to keep us safe. It's an old primal reaction, but it isn't always healthy to dwell upon potential dangers and things that might go wrong. So what is it that is going right for you right now? Put your awareness to that for about another minute and a half. Notice where the mind is. Again, has it gone to one of those 3 C's? Comparison never brings us joy. Complaining, same again. Likewise, criticism. And nearly always it's criticism of ourselves. Stay present. Just a few more breaths. And Thich Nhat Hanh, one of his nice little sayings was, breathe into this moment, for it is a beautiful moment. Only we can stop to notice that. 3 more deep breaths. Let each breath get a little deeper. And just finish with a long sighing breath out. And then remove the cushion, the bolster, whatever it is that you might be resting on, to the left. And place it by your left hip. And then as you come onto the mat, just close your knees together. Give yourself a loving hug, a little rock, side to side. So we're going to take a 2-minute twist now, using that bolster to support you. So mine isn't here at the moment, but just visualize that it is. Slightly move your hips to the right so that the spine stays straight, and then bring your knees over to the left. So the bolster's there to catch you so that your right shoulder can rest. Get your right arm behind you, rest your left hand on your tummy, and close your eyes. And again, we breathe. So staying there for 2 minutes while I time you. And there was a really lovely TED talk that you can find with someone called Ingrid Fettel called Moments of Joy. And she did lots of research the world over and found that we all have way more in common than differences in this ever-increasing polarized world.
And things that brought people joy were things like cherry blossoms, fireworks, strawberries, ice cream with sprinkles on top, rainbows. So we have so much in common, really, when it comes to what brings us those moments of joy. We'll just take a moment, perhaps considering again what it is that brings you joy. What are you truly grateful for? Breath by breath, present moment awareness. Notice if you've gone off somewhere and come back, come back, no drama. And take 3 more deep breaths. Finish with a long, sighing breath out. And take your time to bring your knees back to center. Give yourself a hug. And take the feet flat. So as always, before you drop your knees to the right, just slightly shift your hips to the left. Take a really long, visualize you're a cat, just kind of yawning and easing your way into these stretches as you bring the knees over to the right. Perhaps the bolster catches you so that you can soften your left shoulder, possibly looking in opposite direction. And again, we're here for 2 minutes, simply observing breath in body. Just notice where the mind goes to. It nearly always goes to the same places. Final minute now. And if a minute seems a long time, that's about 6 really good deep breaths. Three more deep breaths. Let them get deeper. Let them get longer. Finish with a sigh. And now come to lengthen your body on the mat. So if you do have any back issues, it's always good to put something behind your knees. You might have an extra layer to keep you warm and toasty. You might have something that you can cover your eyes with. So never skimp on the relaxation pose. It's so important. And then just as much as you can, let the whole body now drop very, very heavy into the earth. And just soften the backs of your eyes. Relax around the jaw. Feel breath perhaps moving into your belly, expanding into your side ribs all the way up to your collarbones. Let the arms get really heavy and weighty. Feel the hips. Feel the thighs and feel the calf muscles. And just let the whole body rest now. And here's a little poem by Mary Oliver called Don't Hesitate. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give into it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind. And much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back. That sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb. And if you're finding it brings you joy to be still, to soak up this sacred time you've carved out for yourself in stillness, and I really encourage you to stay here. So I'm going to close the practice here, not inviting you to sit up again, just encouraging you to stay. If, however, that's all the time you have, then come back up to a seat. And let's sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Bring all that joy into the heart. And thank you for sharing your energy, your time with me today. I really hope I see you again soon. Namaste.